The Wellness Hour. An in-depth discussion with today's top physicians and medical leaders. And now, your host, Randy Alvarez.
You're watching The Wellness Hour, the leader in medical news and information. I'm Randy Alvarez. Today's topic, new breakthroughs in hearing aid technology. With us, we have an expert on the topic, Weston Harris. Weston, welcome to the program.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
All right, now, before we get into today's topic, tell us a little bit about your centers.
We've been running centers for 52 years. We've been in the industry for quite a long time, started as family situation.
Oh, is that right? So family business?
Yeah, my father, Robert Harris, has been doing it for over 52 years, has one of the best reputations, the best reputation in the county that he started in, and he still has so much fun with it. He's still very active in it. Still running it and doing that.
Okay, now I'm not trying to side with you on this interview, by the way. People need to know this is a real interview.
Right.
I was drawn to you when I heard about the 60% less than most, than the competition. Right. But also you said, I wanted to make hearing aids cool. I mean, you've kind of made it like acceptable and they're hidden in the ear. Tell me about that. Elaborate on that.
Well, I've been very active in the innovative side of hearing aids and developing new products. I had worked with thousands of people in my early years and seeing that people really hated wearing hearing aids. They put it off. They don't want to deal with it. It's always the last product that they really want to get in and deal with. But now we're getting in and developing types that are instantaneously fit, very comfortable, and very out of sight. You know, so, I mean, take for example, 3 weeks ago, we launched a new product out onto the marketplace.
Okay.
And I have a guy named Rob, who's about my same age, about 39, and went through everything with him, showed him things, talked about it on everything, and showed him some little behind the ears that are very invisible, very out of sight. And he's absolutely mortified about the fact that he's 39 and he has to wear hearing aids.
Okay, so what do you do?
Right? So we take a brand new hearing aid that we've worked on for 7 years, spent tremendous resources on getting it all done just for this situation. And at the last minute, I pull this out and say, listen, we have this new one coming out of what's going on. And it's just a really small black one, I'll show you in a minute, but really small black device that goes down into the ear and looks like the shadow in somebody's ear. Fits comfortably the second they put it in. He literally goes from being mortified about having to use hearing aids to cannot wait to get his new hearing aids.
Really?
And his wife and his kids and everybody around. He's had his whole family around when we're going through this. I mean, absolutely excited to get his new hearing aids. Now that has taken the industry 60 years to get to the point where that could even happen.
Now, one of the things that we talked off camera, I said, I think we need to really, talk about the low cost of your hearing aids. You said, well, I don't want to be just the low cost leader, even though we are. I want people to know that we're about technology.
Right.
Elaborate on that.
The thing is anybody can go out in any industry and come out and come up with a cheap product line and stamp a name on it and give a low price and make it available to people.
Okay.
That's never what I've wanted to be known for. And this is my reputation, this is my livelihood, this is what I do. I've never wanted to be known as somebody who's just taken a cheap product out, stamped a name on it, and a low price on it, on everything. So we really get out and go, pretty far on things. I'm working with the very top engineers in this industry, and every step of the way, I'm insisting on the very best materials, the very best technology, the very best microphone, circuitry, everything, and making that affordable to people.
Okay, good. Okay, so what's new? Let's start with some of the technology.
So here's an open fit technology. People who have ever looked into hearing aids have started to hear about an open fit technology over the last few years.
Open fit, okay.
So it's open fit, open ear technology. So as you get into it, the significance of that is it has a really thin tube that goes right into the ear canal so it doesn't plug the ear off. And it's very natural and easy for people to wear from the minute they put it in.
Isn't it? That's pretty hard to see.
I don't, if your cameras can get in on that and take a look at that, this is so far ahead from the old behind the ear hearing aids, and you really can't.
Yeah, no, that looks good. That looks good.
Very easy for people to wear.
How good is that as far as
hearing?
Hearing.
It's phenomenal.
So this isn't just an amplification device.
No.
This is set to their...
That's right.
Tell me about that. It's digital? Is that considered digital?
Yes, everything that we do, everything that we've done for years has been strictly digital, because in the old world of hearing aids, everything was amplification, and all you could do is amplify everything and cause problems for people of now they're hearing some sounds way too much and other sounds not quite enough because you're just amplifying everything across the board. Now we can go in, and if somebody's hearing loss has different variations going through it, we can go through there and use an equalizer system like a home stereo system, where you have
it's like an equalizer. You just set the.
That's
interesting.
Right. And so we can go in and take every frequency of what somebody needs to hear day-to-day conversation, day-to-day sounds, speech, whatever it is that they want to hear, and we can go in and fine-tune and pinpoint and raise exactly what they need to, and not over-amplify the things that they don't need or they don't need that much help on.
But aren't there a lot of people that just have their hearing aids on the dresser? That means they don't put them in because of, you know, the clanking of the silverware, all the problems.
Clanking of the silverware, uncomfortable fit. I mean, for the most part, those are things of the past. If somebody's being fit well and it's working out well, yeah. And this one here, I mean, going in and fitting somebody like this with that one, it's instantly comfortable. I mean, it's instantly within 20 minutes, somebody doesn't even notice that they have it on their ear anymore, other than they're hearing better.
So with new technology, it's just made everything smaller. So now you can't really see hearing aids.
That's right. Now you can't see them, but the sound quality is a lot better. The features inside of it, the technology inside of it, when you get into a lot of background noise, which is where people with hearing loss have a lot of problem, now this will filter through that and automatically shut down some of that background noise and bring speech through stronger.
Can you be at a restaurant and you're saying that will kind of get rid of some of the background noise? You could just hear the person in front of you?
Absolutely.
Is that right?
And it's phenomenal. It's phenomenal technology. You can go into a crowded area, it will automatically shut down on that and bring their voice and speech through clear so that you can hear what somebody's saying. And it works very well.
Do you find family members dragging people in? And what do you say to the person watching this that has been told they have a hearing problem and they're not doing anything?
For the person who's been doing it, I mean, you know, look around. A lot of times I'll get somebody who's coming in, I'll get a man coming in whose wife is dragging him by the arm just to get in there and saying, do this or else. Or I get people who are showing up and 50s and 60s and they're looking to get married again, you know, and the spouse is saying, or the fiance is saying, I am not marrying him until he takes care of this.
Really?
Absolutely. I have that happen almost on a weekly basis. They're coming in and saying, if they're married, they're saying he either gets this taken care of or I'm kicking him out of the house, right?
Yeah.
Or if they're getting married, it's I'm not getting married until this is taken care of.
But what about the people, and we talked a little bit off camera, but I wanted people to know that if you have a hearing problem, chances are you're known as the guy with the hearing problem.
Right.
That means behind your back, this is what they talk about.
That's right.
Like he can't hear anything.
And the ironic thing about that is usually the person who's going through that, it's almost like they're the last person to realize that that's going on. You know, but when they get into situations and they think that they're kind of pulling things over and people aren't noticing it, and it's the opposite. If you want to know if you have hearing loss to the point where you need to do something about it, ask everybody around you in your close circle. They'll tell you very, very straightforward of, yes, we do notice that you're having problems and you could use some help with that.
So aside from the money part, so these people don't want it just because the way it looks, or they've heard negative stories about hearing aids in general?
All the above. I mean, cost, performance, negative stories, vanity, stigma, all of those things have played into why people are not getting hearing aids over the years.
Now, you had centers inside of a leading, everybody's heard of it, pharmacy chain.
Right.
Is that right?
That's right. We had gone in and we'd opened 60 hearing aid clinics inside of one of the leading pharmacy chains. And we've developed product lines and collaborated with other top retail chains to make hearing aids more affordable. We've developed product lines for military, law enforcement, shooting, to allow people to hear a lot better and shut down and protect their hearing at the same time.
So are you the manufacturer? That's the part I'm not clear on.
Yes.
So you are the manufacturer
That's
as well?
right.
Okay.
Yes, we do custom manufacturing, and then I also work with some of the top factories in the world that I exclusively design and create our own product lines, and then they do some of the manufacturing for us also.
And that's why you can be less?
That's right. Well, we sell hearing aids all over the world. I mean, I'm selling hearing aids to the smallest to some of the largest hearing aid retailers and manufacturers in the U.S., throughout Europe, down in South America,
when were you going to tell me this, by
Russia.
The way? You didn't tell me this on the telephone.
After the end of the interview.
Okay. So back to the technology. Okay, so that right there,
right.
the last one you showed me, outside of the ear. Is that for more of a severe hearing loss?
No, that can be used for severe hearing loss, and we have some that go a little bit bigger than that if somebody has a really severe hearing loss, really bad hearing loss.
Okay.
That one has become so popular because people have used in-the-ear type and they have a plugged up feeling. Or when they're talking, it sounds like it's in a barrel or a tin can or things like that, and they're just very sensitive to that plugged up feeling. And so as we get into it and develop that type, that really takes care of that.
So they don't feel like their ear is plugged anymore.
That's right.
Interesting.
And that has become very, very popular in a very short time for the fit and comfort issue that you were asking about earlier.
The current hearing aid users that switch over to some of this new stuff, what do they say to you? Like,
they
what's
can't
their
even
reaction?
feel it. They can't even feel it. I mean, I've dealt with a lot of people who have gone through and they've used smaller ones down in the ear that kind of plug that ear canal off, and they've ended up in the drawer, like you hear so much about. You know,
Really?
The first woman that I fit, Karen, the first woman that I fit before this technology even came out 2 or 3 years ago, she had really bad hearing loss in one ear and a pretty good hearing loss in the other ear too, you know, but the one ear, her right ear, was very bad. Could not find a hearing aid out there that would do the job for her and take care of things. And so it kind of became this project of, I want to see if I can develop something that's going to work right for her, right? So she'd gone through, spent thousands of hearing aids 2 or 3 times, thousands of dollars on hearing aids 2 or 3 times, and could not find anything that she was comfortable with, right? So she's out doing a trade show. I take it up to her before I had even put the product on the market and said, I just want to try this on you and see what you think. So I fit it on her ear, test her hearing.
So you're at a trade show.
And a trade show, which is...
Nothing else worked on this woman.
Yeah, and the trade show's the worst environment for background noise and a lot of noise and things going on. So I thought this was a perfect chance to test this out and see if comfort and sound performance in a noisy environment is going to work well for her. So instantly, she's like, this is amazing. It's totally comfortable. I'm totally happy with it. It works great, right? So I go ahead and I leave it with her. And that was Friday morning. I come back at the end of her trade show on Saturday night and say, I've got to get that back. I told you, it's going to be 2 or 3 months before this comes out, but I wanted you to try it. So I come back Saturday night and I say, hey, I need to get that back from you because that was a prototype. And she just has this sick look on her face.
Right.
And she says, I can't find it. And so she sits there and talks and she's like, I left here yesterday. I thought I put it in my purse. I looked through my purse. I looked through my kitchen. I looked through my bathroom. I looked everywhere. I could not find the hearing aid, and I can't find it, and I don't know what to do. And we talked about it for about 10 minutes, and finally at the end of it, I just said, Karen, just do me a favor. I know this is going to sound stupid. Do me a favor and reach up and see if it's on your ear. And she reached up, and it was sitting on her ear.
You've got to be kidding me.
And thousands of dollars and 3 attempts before, she could not get anything that was comfortable for her. And in less than a day to 2 days, she could not even tell that she was wearing it, other than as soon as we pulled it back out, she said, I can't hear anymore.
Interesting. And which one of those was it?
It was the first version of this. So this is a new,
you were in on this
improved, latest
technology.
model.
You were in on this technology. You work with the engineers, the scientist guys that are putting this together?
That's right.
Is that right?
That's right.
Okay.
So open fit technology had come out in the industry, and then as that came available, I really jumped in with some of the industry's best engineers to create a better model, better version of it to make it more comfortable, more lightweight, more instantaneously, the fit and comfort that we wanted for people.
One of the things off camera, and we're going to take a break, but there's this famous, well-known hearing aid out there. And I've been hearing about it.
Right.
And I said, what do you think about this? And you said, it's terrible. It's the worst ever.
Right.
It's made in another country and blah, 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 blah. I go, tell me what you really think about it. But so on technology with your centers, and if you're just tuning in, we're talking about low cost for high-end hearing aids. The hearing aids cost too much, you say.
That's right.
And so your frustration is that you don't have to pay through the nose for technology, for the new stuff.
Right.
And so you have all the new stuff.
Yeah, everything that we're doing, again, I've been fortunate the last 12 years to work with the very best engineers in this industry who are responsible for more significant patents in this industry than just about any other out there. And I've been able to take my experience of personally fitting over 12,000 people in my career on hearing aids, and that's a perfect combination, right? Because a lot of times they get into these manufacturing facilities and they don't have the in-field hands-on experience coming back in and directing product development.
Okay.
So I started developing products so that I could market the way that I wanted to. That's how I originally got into this. I wanted to market a very specific way. I had to develop products that matched that marketing ability on everything and match the message of what I wanted to get out there through things.
And you're about 50–60% less.
Yeah.
In most cases.
Absolutely.
On hearing aids.
Absolutely.
Same kind of stuff, same technology.
Absolutely.
So somebody comes in with a hearing loss, and what do? You hook them up to a machine?
Yeah, I mean, basically we're going to go in and we're going to take a very advanced camera, go inside of their ear, take a look around, make sure that there's nothing medically wrong, make sure that there's not a lot of wax buildup of things going on, and let the person see for themselves, this is your ear, it looks okay, everything's good, so that they're comfortable and they know that the situation that they're dealing with, right?
Okay.
And we go ahead and put the headphones on and have them go through the test of tell us when you hear the tones and the beeps and the different things, and several other tests depending on the severity of their hearing loss that we get into.
Okay.
But when we get into it, one of the biggest things that people are wondering when they come in is, what is going on with me? Why can't I hear as good as I could? Why does it seem like I hear okay, but I can't understand clearly what people are saying? I mean, a lot of times people are coming in and saying, it sounds like people mumble to me, but I still hear them okay, right?
All right.
Or they get into background noise and all of a sudden they can't hear in background noise. So we go through and we do a basic hearing test for them, not a basic, a very comprehensive hearing test for them on everything. And this is the nuts and bolts behind the hearing test. So you go through in the 20/20 of hearing, you start here, and here are the low tones like men's voices, background noise, different things like that. And it comes over here to the higher tones like women and children, birds, crickets, you know, the blinker on your car. So many people come in and say, I can't even hear the blinker on my car anymore once it goes off, right?
Okay.
So little things like that of what's going on. So when we go through, the 20/20 of hearing comes right through here, and the problem that people are dealing with is they start coming through, and the higher tones are what get damaged or worn out first, nerve damage of things going all the way through there to where now they're missing 20%. This circle that you see right here, that's all the speech range that you need to hear day-to-day conversation. So as those high tones start dropping down more and more and more, all of a sudden you're missing 20, 30, 50, 75% of that speech range. And that's why people are hearing okay, but they're not getting the clarity that they need.
Okay, so once you've done that, now what do you do with that information?
So now we go in and we
take
that. That's right. We go in and we take that, and each specific frequency that we test all the way across, we go in and we tie an equalizer band to each tone all the way through. Okay. So now we're raising and lowering that volume exactly to what that person needs to give them back a very nice balanced level of hearing again, instead of where they have different levels here just amplifying everything, which is where the industry was for a long time. But now we can go in and make it very precise to somebody's hearing loss and help them hear a lot better and a lot more balanced hearing.
Okay, now some of the smaller ones, they still also have that technology?
All of them. I mean, all of them. And now this one's probably really too small for the the camera to get in on.
We'll zoom in on that. Okay. So that right there, what is that?
Right on the fingertip. That's a tiny little circuit that we've developed, and we've had small technology for 10, 15 years, but this is a brand new one that we've developed. That's small. I can go inside of that circuit through my computer, and I can program 60 different adjustments. I can program sound 5,000 different ways. It will process sound over 1 million times per second. And I can go in and I can fine-tune that to whatever somebody's hearing loss is and bring it right back up to what they need to. And that's the technology right there.
Wow, that's very interesting. Okay, so in the ear, show me those.
So again, you see that tiny little circuit. We can put that into very small devices. That's the significance of getting it that small. So we go through and we have that little behind the ear one that we showed that's very comfortable and easy to fit, easy to get used to. And then we've gone in a direction of making a small one that's really invisible down in the ear. Again, taking that in there. And a lot of people,
wow,
this one right here.
Turn, we'll get the camera. You can't see it. Now, how do you get it out, though? How do you get it out?
Very easy. That's a common question, but you just reach up there and get a hold of a little line right there.
That's scary, that thing. And it doesn't feel odd? It's not an odd feeling?
No, this one here, I mean, it does go down in and it does plug the ear canal off a little bit. So that usually takes people 2 to 4 weeks to make sure that we've got it fit just right. They get used to that feeling down in their ear being a little bit more plugged up, no big deal.
That's pretty nice. That's right in there. And you could have somewhat severe hearing loss? Qualify for that?
Yeah, we fit very severe hearing losses with that.
Interesting.
With that one right there. And a lot of people care more about the vanity. So the hearing industry has come up with 1,000 different bright, shiny...
There's no way you can see that, by the way, in somebody's ear.
Oh, no. No,
and
the reason that it goes black like that is so that it looks like, even if you see a touch of it, it looks more like the shadow in the ear than it does a hearing aid.
And what about the other one?
And the other one is a cross between the two of them, to where now you have a little device that goes down in and it's invisible in the ear, but it doesn't plug the ear off, so people still feel natural, and it's a more instantaneous comfort and fit and feel to it. Just a lot more natural. So you take that one again. It doesn't go down in and plug that ear canal off hardly at all, so you still,
so it doesn't plug the ear.
Yeah, so it just, again, very invisible
very nice.
And out of sight, and a very instant, natural feel and comfort to it that people can get used to within
Is that your best
minutes.
one? Is that the one everybody likes?
This one is brand new. We're just launching this onto the market right now, and people absolutely love it. I mean, the first 100 people that we fit with this are absolutely thrilled to death with it.
Is that
we
right?
can't do severe hearing losses with that one, but we can do mild to moderately severe hearing losses, which is still probably 70% of the crowd that we get coming in.
You're going to change the hearing aid business.
Yeah, that's
is that your
always
goal?
a goal, absolutely. So my goal here is to get out there and create new businesses, new business models, new technology, do it in a more cost-effective manner so that we really get this cutting-edge technology, not this bottom-of-the-barrel technology, but this cutting-edge technology out to people who will allow them to hear better at a price that they can afford and products that they can get excited about and change their life and reconnect with family and friends and spouses and the people that they love the most and who make the quality of their life what it should be.
Is it men and women, by the way?
Yeah,
More
absolutely.
women, by the way?
Yeah, more so men, because men generally live a little noisier lifestyle. They're more into construction, they're more into shooting, they're more into industrial, they're more into loud noises, generally speaking. So most of the time when we come through, men do very well in their low tones, but they really drop down in their high tones because those have been damaged by their career, their profession, or their hobbies of things that are going on. Whereas women more live a more normal life, and more of the time when I'm working with women, it's something that's just happened through the normal aging process.
And so if you have a hearing aid 3-4 years old,
right,
it's time to maybe trade that in.
Yeah, absolutely. And I see people always say, you know, when does the industry make enough of an advancement to where it's really worth trading up? And that's exactly what I see is about every 3.5 years. This industry, as long as I've been in it, is on this 3.5-year cycle. About every 3.5 years, you see something really significant and worthwhile that's worth coming in and checking it out and stepping up to and upgrading to.
And we're there. You think you're there?
Well, I mean, this is beyond that normal cycle. I've been saying again.
I mean, they're invisible now. You can't see them.
That's right. And like I said at the first of the show, you know, I've been saying for 12 years, when I get to the point where I'm developing product that I myself would wear, then I know I'm getting somewhere, and then I start getting excited about it. And the first time that I can ever say that is right now. I mean, the last month, this month, next month of launching these new products out onto the market, I can say at 39, I absolutely would wear one of these if I need it, and I'm closer to needing it than I'd like to admit.
And you're going to make hearing aids cool to wear.
Absolutely.
Well, nobody will know, though.
Absolutely.
That you're cool.
But that's the cool side of it. Right, so the industry goes out there and they come up with all these bright, fun, flashy colors thinking that that's going to draw people into it. It's not glasses. It's not eyewear where it's fashionable. It's all of that.
In there.
The most popular color still in hearing aids is invisible. Right?
That's good.
Right.
And you're there.
You know, and so we're sticking with that. But if all of a sudden I pull that hearing aid out and I show that to somebody, that's very cool. That's not the big old-fashioned type that's whistling and squealing and all those things. It's very comfortable. You pull it out, tons of technology inside of it to make that possible.
You just can't shower with it. I mean, everything except for that.
Yeah, I take it out when you shower.
And the little tiny wire, because it looked like it was going to stuck in your ear. The little wire, you just pop it out.
Yeah, and people tend to have this misconception that that's going to disappear down in the ear and they're not going to be able to get it out. But the ear canal is designed with curves and bends and everything. The hearing aid can't go farther than what it's supposed to, and it's very easy to put in and out, just like what you saw me do.
And is that something you offer, though? A couple days, try it for the weekend?
Yeah, if somebody wants to come in and try out some of the open fit technology, we'll absolutely do that. The custom fit type, that's more custom fit, so we got to get in and do the custom fitting on everything. But the open fit technology, or just testing out amplification and seeing if they're comfortable with it. But the sound quality on these is fantastic. So we can get in and do cutting-edge technology for half the price, very easy to work with on how we go about things and working with people to make sure that we're getting the best solution for them on style, comfort, performance,
you're the manufacturer.
and price.
Go directly to the manufacturer in a way.
That's right.
Is that right?
That's right. And again, I stress this again, we're a manufacturer who sells to manufacturers. I mean, you come in direct
like
to one of our
everybody would want
centers.
to go to you. I mean, if you're less.
You know what? I mean, 90% of the time that I'm working with somebody or somebody's working in my clinics, when they realize what we do.
You own the market in Salt Lake, is that right? I mean,
yeah, we've owned that market pretty dominantly for 15 years. You know, we came out with this model in my mid-20s and have been the major player up there for ever since on everything.
Final message, and we're out of time. Somebody watching this, they know they have a hearing loss, or maybe even they have a hearing aid that they don't use because it's just too loud. What do you say?
Take a chance on it. Give us a call. Come in. It takes nothing to come into our centers, let us go through a test, show you some of the new things, give you some demonstrations on everything, and let us show what we can do for you. You know, all of this that we can get in and do, the biggest thing about hearing aids now is they're so easy. To get fit, to get a pair, to get it done right for you is so easy, and it can change everything about your life, from your family, your friends, your spouse, your loved ones, your work if you're still working, anything that you're out there doing, your hobbies, your recreations, all of that can be so much better with good hearing than with hearing loss and dealing with hearing loss. And the technology and the pricing and the structure, it's all there to where you can come in very easily and get the help that you need at a price that you can afford.
So they don't have to be expensive?
No, they don't have to be expensive.
For all the new technology?
That's right. I've had people who have been told $10,000 to $15,000 for a pair of hearing aids, $6,000 to $8,000 for a pair of hearing aids.
That's just ridiculous in your mind?
It is absolutely ridiculous.
It's like it's just overcharging in the industry.
All you're doing is paying for an expensive business model or an expensive ego of a salesperson on everything. Come in and get technology at a price that you can afford that is cutting edge technology, product innovation, and design.
All right, I want to thank you for coming in. Very good.
Thanks again.
Very good. You've been watching The Wellness Hour, the leader in medical news and information. I'm Randy Alvarez. If you would like to see this interview again online, you can go to our website at wellnesshour.com and just type in hearing loss or hearing aid. For now, I wish you good health.
Thanks for watching The Wellness Hour, the leader in medical news with your host, Randy Alvarez, the authority on health issues.